Which looks better.
Wait, you're starting it now?
I've started it.
What do you want to start on the
You
laptop
start
as
it
well?
on
We can edit out the start, so it's fine.
Yeah. Do I press the big red button?
Yes, you do.
Press the big red button.
Press the big red button.
Yeah, you can edit out anything
Wow.
you want to.
It's just going to be Tom at the start soon. Press the big red button.
Jinx touch wood. We were just talking about.
I'm not allowed to talk anymore. Just jinx me.
It's just me
Yeah,
for,
that's too far.
for the rest of the.
Sorry, so someone should probably count in.
Why count in when we're already in?
This is like when. Okay, we're live. We're live. Hello, nice to see you, brother.
Oh, hello.
Very nice.
We're definitely too pissed for this already.
I think it just takes a bit of groove.
But can't we just edit in the start anyway?
Everything's
Yeah,
we
we
could
can do
do.
an intro.
Yeah, well, yeah, so it doesn't matter when we started.
That's true. We just go. We flow with the go.
You could technically put this last.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
why,
but
why
that's
would you do that? That'd be stupid.
That's
though,
not
wouldn't it?
authentic, isn't it? You're lying to people.
That'd be amazing.
We could upload it to Pornhub, but it probably wouldn't be a good idea.
What would we call it?
Call what? The Pornhub video?
Yeah. Two white guys on a couch or something.
Two white guys casting on the couch.
Are we casting? Matt, are you casting us for a porno?
Yeah.
Is that what this has been about?
I feel like Matty,
You
you're
kinda
going to be in
look
the
like it on the
podcast
setup.
at this point. What, this looks like the casting couch?
Yeah, it
though?
does. It's black in it, the casting couch.
I don't know. Is it?
It looked like the right size sofa. You know?
I feel like you're definitely going to end up just in the podcast now, aren't you? It's too
Yeah,
late.
no,
I'll
that.
take that. I'll take that.
What's
Oh,
wrong with that?
nice thing. So basically, we may as well talk about what was the plan for the first one, even though we have no plan.
We couldn't think of a plan.
Yeah, it was talk about shit and see if people are interested in our shit.
Was your idea, like the overall idea for it, was speaking to people who maybe you had, who you didn't really have any kind of contact with, that you might have had misconceptions about, or
Yeah, it
You
almost
really
it almost
know.
started with perspectives, like looking
Yeah.
at different perspectives, because obviously we have very different perspectives, like just between us. But then the recent jobs I've had at like the NHS, and then in like lower economic places like Pizza Hut, and their perspective, and it's like a totally different thing on what's expected, what's like acceptable. That was the overarching idea.
what's acceptable.
Yeah, like what is socially acceptable to do? What do you normally like? What's the normal?
What was the least normal that you saw?
What? Where?
So from what you know and just have absorbed about the world growing up, which was, you must have, if you've seen different perspectives, which was like the weirdest one to you? Like, which was the one that was like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, not the weirdest, but the one that like broke the norm most for me is like I've always grown up as in like I'm gonna go to school, and then I'm gonna go to college, and then I'm gonna go to uni, and then I'm gonna get a job, and then I'm hopefully gonna get a little bit of a better job, and then that's always been very rigid in my head. When I realise now people have different perspectives of like, you just do that in this moment, and then you're doing this, and you might go to college, or you might go to uni, or you might like find some passion, and then you might do that. But what did you have like before?
It was like that all the way through school until the gap year. And the moment the gap year started, it was a step out of it's like one step to the next step to the next step. Took me out of it. I guess I could see things in front of me rather than being in the thing that was.
To be fair, for the podcast, we should probably say, at least, for people that aren't as clued in about you, Tom, what you're doing now.
What am I doing now? At the moment, I'm on call shooting water onto trees or buildings that occasionally set on fire, and I am training in the art of hip pronation prevention, which is stopping people from being on their back, getting to their knees. And to me, that's the most important thing in the world right now.
Do you view, like, so in terms of maybe not job, but like career, do you view doing MMA every day as your career? Or do you view your fireman, whatever bloody I call it now, is that as your career? Like, you'd probably push that and you'll probably end up doing that. Or do you think your MMA will take over?
In my head, it's always MMA.
Okay.
Always MMA. Like, I wake up, I'm thinking about the transition. I'm in the shower. I'm thinking about shit. It's on my mind, and that I don't want to.
Okay, so you're not thinking of like trying to, I don't know, become not a reserve firefighter, an actual, like, I don't mean like actual, but I mean like a proper shift career one or whatever you call it. And then like, chief of the police fire station.
I don't see myself doing it for a long period of time. I feel like at the moment, the way I see things is, if I can happily just survive and be in martial arts and have the time to just live like that, I feel like I'd be happy. It's just something about doing it it keeps me grounded. It keeps me level. So I don't really see it as I want to kind of get the most amount of money, which might happen through MMA. Some people get paid loads, some people don't, but you can't ever take it for granted. You can't assume that's going to happen. But as long as I can happily just be alive, be okay, and teach martial arts, do martial arts, just hit Pro Nation. This shit's like that. That's what drives me. Just these little tiny things of two human bodies interacting and fighting. It's like a Rubik's cube, but it's human Rubik's cubes against each other. There's so many tiny little steps.
You were very mine's more like pushing forward everything. I want to be pushing forward everything. So like I constantly want to be moving on to the next stage. So I'm at uni now. Next I want a grad job. Next I want to be earning a bit more money. I want to learn something like maturity. Like some of the decisions I'd make today, like I'd never make when I was 18. Like the things you'd realise like over these past years, like pushing forward what you know and how you react to things. That's what I'm always trying to push. You seem very focused on the MMA head ago. You do that. I'm bad at focusing on one bit. I like to try and like scoop up and like nudge it all forward.
Well, you're taking things in, aren't you?
Yeah.
I can be very like, just trying not to just look at this one thing. Yeah. You've always seemed like you've been very wise to what's going on, and you're good at putting things together and solving the problems and moving forward.
I don't like letting one bit lag behind. Like, if you ever like brush the floor.
Yeah.
If you try and move a big pile, you'd move a little bit all the way along. You wouldn't like sweep one all the way into the pile and sweep the next bit all the way into the pile.
Oh yeah, you want to corner that shit.
Yeah, you want it all in.
I see what you mean now. When was was that a moment where you realised that's how you saw it?
Yeah, I don't know. Thing is, that's what I find. That's the issue of I'm always pushing. Like every time I change, my whole perspective about a lot of things kind of alter. So like every time, so when I first went into doing a 9-to-5 job as like a summer job, I realised what it was like working Monday, Friday, 9-to-5, doing stuff like that. That completely changed my perspective of everything. So then, like, it's kind of weird because it feels like everything I say can be bullshit because I know that in a year's time I can think, why the fuck did I say that? That's totally different to me now.
True. What was the shock from the 9-to-5? What was the change from that?
Just like the tiredness and the realisation that people go there and you do it one week and you do it the next week and you do it the next week and you know you're never gonna, and you're so tired constantly and you always feel like it doesn't feel like anything's moving. You feel like almost stuck. You feel like you're stuck in glue, stuck in place. You're not changing, improving. It just feels like you do this task and then you leave, and then you go and then you do this task and then you leave, and then you just do that for 40 years.
It scares me.
Yeah, that scares me too.
Terrifying, isn't it? I never thought about this stuff until recently in school.
Yeah, that's what made me realise it was getting a 9-to-5.
Oh man.
But
go for that.
Yeah, but that was the point of I almost wanted to see other people's perspectives on that for like other episodes to get people in. I want to know, have they had these kind of realizations? But some of the people that don't normally talk about this stuff, so there's some people that are like the people that always put on the bravado, like the constantly happy people. Are they really just constantly happy? Things like that. So some people.
Yeah, but no one's ever constantly at a peak.
Aren't they?
No one can ever just stay good just stay great all the time.
What
Everyone
about,
was,
what
you know,
about like Mrs. Trina?
she's just good at being nice, I guess. She's good at
What do you think?
that. Even if she's feeling sad, she can still be, you know,
Yeah,
she can still be.
that's
Nice
a very
with you.
impressive trait, though.
It is actually thinking about it now. I never really saw it like that. Like Miss Trina, well, she was always nice, wasn't she?
Because like there were some nice teachers, but when they had a bad day, you could always tell. And some
Yeah,
were
you
like
could.
some you could tell were a bit worn thin.
Yeah.
And like even some of the stricter teachers, you could tell when they were having a bad day, because they were just so
Even worse.
sort of, but they were just so much more irritable. They were so less understanding. I feel like strict teachers know they're being strict and a little bit ridiculous at times, but they're doing it on purpose and they kind of enjoy it. When on those days they just do it to, I don't know, they're just doing it to get some kind of like kick out of it.
PJ, we saw him. Most teachers, let's say there's the graph of their mood. If the all possible moods known to humans are here, most teachers would have an area
Yeah.
of like how good they'd be. But PJ, he was everywhere on that graph.
No, I feel like he was always slightly stricter. He was always more towards the strict end.
But the sides of him that we saw totally different.
Yeah.
It was like what
I would
moods
I
were
would
we
say
in
more like
together?
that was like Mr. Bryan though.
I think to me he seemed more.
No, he could be either end.
He could, but he was mainly good,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Or like mainly good, and when he was acting nice, but then little things would set him off. Like if you forgot the homework, like it would be like crazy.
Morgan, what is wrong with you? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cracks me up today. I like Mr.
But-
Bryan. You know, I think it's very respectable that every year.
Also, just for context, for people also don't know, Miss Brown was a teacher at our high school and then college. I didn't know him in college though. I only had him in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
but he taught Spanish.
He
And
also-
PJ he taught us
In
RS in
yeah.
year 10 and 11. Or was it just year 11?
He joined in December 2014 when we were in year 10.
Have you always had that ability
Yeah, it's
to like
weird.
pick out dates? Or
Yeah.
months? Is it days or months?
Sometimes days, like dates. Usually it's just the time period. I don't
Is
know,
there any,
it's
like-
very weird.
Is there any like link to like certain like what you remember and what you don't? Because I assume like I couldn't say like, you know, what was the 12th day that you
What
had
do you mean?
like what's a memory that does stick for the day, or is it just anything big?
It's usually when something really big happens.
But
Like,
like,
I-
do you remember the day that I told you to piss off at the Rounders base?
No, of course I don't. Back in year 8, I don't know, it was like April 13th, 2012 or something, I have no idea.
Do you remember the dates of like any of the walks or anything like that?
Sponsored walks.
Yeah,
They were all in late September. That's all I know.
that's weird.
I
See,
remember-
I'm useless at that kind of thing. Everything just kind of mushes for me afterwards.
There was Stoke-on-Trent, which was like the Comic-Con that was in Stoke. That was on the 28th of September 2014. I remember that one. A bit random.
Which one was that? What year were we in then?
We were in year 10. Just started year 10.
I always think charity's quite a weird thing.
Charity.
Yeah. Because is it selfish? Because you can always view it. You can view everything from like a selfish, like absolutely.